Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, a couple of things. His health is probably the most important. Obviously, the reason for IR is not the injury from Sunday. It's not that. It's more the shoulder. But it's obviously listen where we are in our season. A chance for him to get healthy right now as he looks into the off season and next season as well, getting healthy. And obviously the injury Sunday doesn't help, right? But it's just I think the right decision right now to go ahead and just shut him down and let him get fully healed, clear the protocol first, obviously, and then tackle the other injury later on. So that's our main focus right now is just to make sure he's 100% and get him healthy and get himself ready for the off season.
Did the shoulder get worse while he played on Sunday, or was it just playing through it where the kind of decision was made that?
Yeah, I think more just playing through it. It didn't get any worse. He didn't take any shots, or hits on it. So it's just a matter of it was going to probably eventually come to that, surgery. But now with everything and where our season is too, it's never a good time, but if there is a time, this would be it.
Has the surgery been scheduled yet or no?
Not that I know of.
Is he making progress in the
And
protocol?
it'd be up front. He has to clear the protocol first, before you can't obviously do surgery with a guy in concussion protocol. So we're going to make sure that's cleared first before anything is scheduled.
Is he progressing through protocol?
He is. He's doing just like what you would think, in the protocol. So he's moving right along.
How would you characterize this season this year?
I mean, obviously disappointing, right? I mean, it's not what I expected. It's not what the players expected. The team, a lot of high expectations, obviously, coming out of preseason where we were as a team, and it's not where we wanted to be. Not saying we were gonna, do. We weren't gonna be say, you'd love to be the number one team in the AFC right now, but who knows? I mean, you could have been. You could have been in the top, 7. You could have been in the top 10, top 3, whatever. But it's disappointing. For me personally, for the team. I know the players feel the same way, and we just gotta take it all in stride and finish this season strong.
For Trevor specifically, though, how would you characterize his season?
I would say probably the same. I think it's the same as where I am as a coach. The team is right now. I think he would feel the same way. And I don't want to speak for Trevor, but just disappointing. And just something that we've got to learn from moving forward.
Did he cut down the turnovers the way you kind of wanted him to? I know he played in a bridged year, but in the time that he did play, were you happy with the way he took care of the football?
Yeah, it was better. And it's something that the turnovers are going to happen, and especially the quarterback position. But he was doing some good things. He was really protecting the ball, and I thought as the season progressed, he was continuing to get better. And that's because there were a lot of go back to the beginning of the season, a lot of expectations, obviously, right, with the new contract and all that kind of stuff, and working through that and dealing with that, and then putting that behind him and just focusing on ball and he's such a competitor and that's why I love being around him and coaching him, because you kept seeing it each week, the improvement with him, improvement with the team, and just continuing to kind of grow as an offense. It just wasn't all coming together, and when I say offense, defense, special teams, wasn't all like playing that complementary piece of football that you need to win games.
When you look at this season, even just the last 12 weeks, big picture, knowing you guys are 1-8 in one-score games, do you reflect and say, hey, it really came down to in 9 games, the ball bounced a different way, this could have been a completely different season?
I think it's doesn't make me feel any better, right? It's something that you try to you coach your coaches, you coach your players that these games are going to come down to a couple plays a game, and somehow we got to figure out how to get those plays to go in our direction and overcome that. And so, as we look back, we got 5 games left, and we want to finish strong, obviously. And but we get an opportunity to look back on it. I think that's what's going to be sort of glaring at us, or just those plays, whether it's offense, defense, again, special teams. But those are the things that we have to overcome as a football team in order to have consistency in winning.
Are Logan and Ross expected to be out this week? Is that a bit of practice?
Not yet. Both those guys will practice today. We'll see where they're at.
Tyson and Parker.
Both practice today and should be okay. See where Tyson is today. He's kind of been limited all week, but expect him to practice, and we'll see after practice today.
What does Josh Reynolds bring to the table?
Josh, a veteran guy. You put on the tape, he's obviously been in a couple spots, and he's been, a guy he's a bigger, taller, athletic receiver. Again, gives us depth. We're obviously missing Christian and Gabe, and definitely gives us, something that we can continue to develop that room. I think it helps us in the way that we're trying to win these games. We're trying to go out and play well, and he gives us an opportunity to do that, and so we're excited to get him going a little bit, and seeing how he can help.
And obviously, it's a history with him being here last year, but what kind of challenge does Calvin just present on tape for the defense?
I just think his, obviously his speed and athleticism, right? He's an excitable, energetic guy, and that's what he brings to them offensively, and a guy that you have to, with the speed that he has, it's real, and you got to be prepared for that, and be in the right position. So he can beat you over the top, he can beat you across the field, and he's tough, and he brings some swagger, some energy. So those are all things that we're going to have to match.
Even with the season being where it is right now, does Titans Week bring some extra juice to everyone in the building, or is?
Yeah, anytime you play an AFC South opponent, especially Tennessee, it's always been close football games. They're physical games. A couple years ago, it came down to the last regular season game. And last year the same thing. And so we know what type of games these are going to be. It's one of those games you just I think you throw the records out and you go play. And I think the team too that makes the least amount of mistakes, in games like this gives yourself a chance, to win it in the fourth quarter. So always going to be tough, going to be physical. Guys are ready to go.